This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
From above, it looked like a young man trudging through a large field of grass. Lining the field were tall, evergreen trees. In the distance, mountains with snow caps poked at a clear blue sky. It was clear that the man's destination was a distant building complex. The only things between the man and those buildings were signs and a large metal chain-link fence. A blur and a rush of wind, and next to the young man stood a young woman in a colorful costume. Her hair was blonde, pulled back into a ponytail. Her eyes and forehead were covered with a wraparound mask of white with decorative gold on the edges and as a lightning bolt design on the sides. Her costume accented her large breasts, showing much cleavage as her arms were bare, save for the white and gold gloves that went to her elbows. A gold lightning bolt inside of a red lightning bolt sat in the middle of the white fabric that barely covered her chest, leaving her midriff with firm abs exposed. Her legs were covered in tight, white leggings with gold racing lines down the sides. Her boots were white with gold lightning bolts on their sides. This blonde superhero looked at the man with pleading eyes before saying,
"Master, what are you doing?"
The man looked hurt, pain haunted. He had a round face with short brown hair cut in a style that did not look good on him. His brown eyes were behind thick glasses with black rims. His body looked like a compact potato, which only showed how muscular he was when he moved his arms in his black t-shirt and his legs in his black shorts. He moved like he was determined, but his eyes held a pain that seemed to only intensify with the female superhero before him.
"Lisa,"
the man said,
"go away."
The superhero's eyes went wide, and with not a blink she was gone. All that was left was a rush of wind, and just the hint of the perfume she'd been wearing. The man kept walking, one foot in front of the other.
"Master,"
the blonde superhero said as soon as she became solid before him.
"you shouldn't be alone."
"Didn't I just tell you to go away?"
the man said, shocked.
"I did, and then I came back, Master."
The woman replied,
"Don't call me that out here right now. Call me by my real name."
the man said, looking her up and down.
"Fine, you're determined to bug me, at least change into civilian clothes."
"Yes, Oscar."
The superhero said before becoming a blur again and coming back with a smile on her face. She was also wearing a tan leather jacket over a white shirt and light tan leather pants over her impressive legs.
"Whatever,"
Oscar said, moving again.
"Where are we going?"
Lisa asked.
"Those buildings."
Oscar said, moving along.
"Should we?"
Lisa asked. She pointed at a large yellow metal sign. The sign was not new, and rust had run down from where the rusty bolts kept the sign attached to leaning metal poles.
"This says there's certain death if we go further."
"That's a lie.
Oscar said, continuing to move.
It's to keep people from pursuing the truth."
"Oscar,"
Lisa said, moving up next to him.
I know it isn't my place to say this, but maybe you should give things a little time. Alice wouldn't fault you for taking some time."
"Alice would wonder what took me so long."
Oscar said, looking around.
"This was one of the last things I don't want to talk about it. As your master, I command you to just let me do what I want to do."
"Yes, Oscar."
Lisa said, lowering her head.
"I just want to help you. Everyone on J5 want to help you."
"Where is the rest of the team?"
Oscar asked.
"How did you even find me?"
"The rest of J5 is dealing with some minor alien thing."
Lisa said with a frown.
"As a speedster, I'm not very good at dealing with things in the sky. As for finding you, I tracked the GPS in your car."
"Yeah, I parked just outside the zone."
Oscar said, walking on.
"Zone?"
Lisa asked.
"Oscar, where are we? What is this place?"
Oscar was silent for a minute.
"This is an exclusion zone."
Oscar finally said.
"There are no cell phone towers around, no mechanical power plants, nothing that could create an electrical transmission. There isn't even a microwave for 50 miles. No one lives here, no one comes here, and it isn't on any satellite or road maps."
Now, we're getting spooky.
Lisa said, walking slowly next to Oscar.
Why the signs of death and that huge fence?
This was the compound of Mechmaniac.
Oscar said with a huff. Lisa walked on for a few more feet before asking,
I'm sorry, who's Mechmaniac?
Really? It was only 20 years ago.
Oscar said, sounding a little shocked.
Well, 21 really, but that's when he took on the heroic heroes and lost.
Shocking that I'd never heard of a villain that was taken out by the Grade B superhero team when I was 2 years old.
Lisa mocked.
Hey, I was 4, and I still know about Mechmaniac from reading.
Oscar said, annoyed.
You know, reading. Looking at symbols that in a pattern indicate different actions, places, people, things, or descriptions. You should try it sometime.
You're not very funny.
Lisa shot back.
I could command you to laugh. I could have you rolling in laughter with tears coming down your face, and it wouldn't stop for the rest of the day. I have that much power over you.
Oscar said in a huff.
You just have to stay alive.
Oscar said quietly.
Sorry, I've been having a bad few weeks.
Oscar stated.
Mechmaniac might have had a few mech suits, but his real claim to fame were nanites. Even after 20 years, his nanites were 100 years beyond what we've got now. He could unleash those little buggers on a city and turn every building to dust before everyone's eyes.
Is that why heroic heroes took him down?
Lisa asked.
No.
Oscar said, getting to the fence.
Have you ever heard of a female heroine named Perfect Power?
Oh yes. I loved her. I had her action figures growing up.
Lisa said, her face lighting up.
I watched every one of her cartoons several times. Perfect power with her perfect punch. Gravity can't fight her perfect flight. Bullets give up before her perfect might. She is perfect power. Don't command me to sing the intro, even if I have it committed to long-term memory. Hell, I even went as her one Halloween.
Even though she was gone?
Oscar asked.
Well, her cartoon was still making new shows when I was like 6 or 7.
Lisa said with a shrug.
She was gone?
Long gone by then.
Oscar said, pulling a small tool from his pocket.
Alice. Goddammit. Alice was a fan of Perfect Power too. Alice was wondering what had happened to Perfect Power, before Alice Shit, fuck, mother humper.
Lisa offered.
Take your time.
Fuck you.
Oscar shot back.
Anytime, anywhere, you want, Oscar.
Lisa said, automatically.
Sorry.
No, I should be sorry.
Oscar said, hanging his head low.
I'm doing this for Alice. This was the last thing we really investigated together.
Oscar pushed a button on the small tool he had, and an invisible laser started cutting through the fence. Oscar continued talking as he cut the fence.
To answer your question, Perfect Power needed a comeback from her previous problems.
Oscar was saying.
That's why she joined the heroic heroes. She thought it would be better for her to join a team than be on her own.
She was on her own a lot, though.
Lisa said.
Or at least that's what I remember. Oh, say I do remember those heroic heroes. The last season of the cartoon had those idiots in it. What were some of them? Solid Fist I remember, and Jade Blade, and there were others. Who was the wind guy?
Gust.
Oscar said.
There was also Blinding Gold and Stuck. Perfect Power didn't audition or even apply to be on the team. She showed up and said she was on the team, and that was that.
Oscar stood up and the fence fell out of the hole he cut.
And that's that.
Won't that set off some alarm?
Lisa asked.
There's no current through this fence, and all the cameras have been dead for years. There's nothing here to hurt us.
Oscar said, stepping through the hole he made.
Alice never asked me for much, not that she would, but this was one thing I think she knew I could do for her that no one else could.
You always find the truth, no matter what.
Lisa said, going through the hole herself.
When you came to J5 headquarters, before we were going after Alice, you already knew our real identities. I thought I was so good at hiding my civilian identity.
Speedsters are always easy to find.
Oscar said, walking towards the clearly dilapidated buildings.
We are?
Lisa asked, catching up.
Just look for people who report sudden gusts of wind at street level, places where trees and bushes have their fall foliage pulled off before everywhere else, and then there's your special shoes.
Oscar said, pointing to Lisa's civilian boots.
Not many people get shoes that are Kevlar infused for things like pumps.
I like heels.
Lisa countered.
You like heels, or at least you like me in heels.
I never said I didn't.
Oscar said.
All superheroes have fantastic bodies, something in the superhero enzyme, but it is how you show it off that counts. The hardest of J5 to identify was Patricia.
What? Really?
Lisa asked, looking around at the crumbling concrete and disintegrating roads.
Her power to delete memories made it really hard to pin her down.
Oscar said, pulling out his phone and taking pictures of the buildings.
I had to use my own super hypnosis powers to learn she was even deleting memories from people, and they weren't just normally forgetting things.
Pat can be a real bitch.
Lisa said with a huff.
She has a bad date with a guy. She deletes the things she didn't like from him, leaving the good things, so he'll do those good things the next time. It takes all the fun out of deciding if you like someone. Present company excluded, of course.
Of course.
Oscar said, looking around.
It isn't like I gave you a choice in liking me or not. You have to like me.
I have to love you.
Lisa said, almost distant.
As mind-controlling super hypnotists go, you're one of the not bad ones.
That's what Alice said.
Oscar replied.
Where do you think I heard it from?
Lisa countered.
Let's start at one end and work our way to the rest.
Oscar stated.
I can check out every one of these buildings before you take your next step.
Lisa offered.
What am I looking for?
No idea.
Oscar replied.
Perfect power went missing when she said she was following a cloud of what she thought was nanite. It's not much to go on, but heroic heroes went after Mechmaniac based on that info. They even had a all means necessary warrant. Perfect power was never found. Mechmaniac was killed in the fight. His nanites destroyed any mammal that came to this compound, and that was why it was closed off.
Wait, you say destroyed any mammal, as in?
Lisa asked a touch worried.
If the nanites were still active, we'd be a pile of goo right now.
Oscar answered. Then he pointed over Lisa's shoulder. There was a female wolf with 3 small pups heading for the trees.
We're fine. I don't intend on joining Alice just yet.
Wait, doesn't that mean that if perfect power was here, she'd be goo too?
Lisa asked, catching up to Oscar as he kicked open a rusty metal door.
Perfect power, also known as Leia Winters, was 87 when she disappeared.
Oscar stated, looking up and down a stairwell.
No way, she was a teenager.
Lisa countered.
She was a teenager, right?
Perfect power had begun being a superhero right when World War I was wrapping up.
Oscar stated as he went around the corner of a hall, shining his flashlight around.
She fought with the other heroes in World War II against the Axis powers and those super-powered people. Perfect power didn't become popular until she embraced her youthful side to become a pop star and idol to millions of little girls, like yourself and Alice. She's immortal and invulnerable.
How did I not know she was that old?
Lisa asked, looking around and not seeing anything out of the ordinary.
It wouldn't sell well that a heroine to millions came from the Prohibition era.
Oscar stated, shaking his head and heading for front.
We're talking about a woman that looked like a teenager but smoked and drank like it was the 1930s. It also doesn't help she killed a kid back in the 1980s.
What?
Lisa said in shock as they went to the next building.
Leia Winters.
Oscar said with a grin.
Was a huge, and I mean huge, drug runner from Colombia in the 70s and 80s.
Are you trying to destroy my childhood?
Lisa asked, slightly joking.
I look for the truth.
Oscar said, trying to kick in the front door of the next building, but the door didn't move. Lisa stepped back and gave it a running, more like faster than the eye, blur of a kick that knocked the door off its hinges.
Alice and I. Fuck me. Alice was like me in that she wanted the truth, even if it hurt.
How does drug running lead to killing a kid?
Lisa asked as Oscar turned on a flashlight to see inside the dark building.
Leia didn't just run drugs, she used them.
Oscar said, looking into a large room near the back of the building and taking special interest in the large suits there.
She'd get caught by the Columbia Army, locked up, and mysteriously her jail door would be broken by the time anyone bothered to look into a blonde petite American teenager. That's actually how Alice found Leia. Leia had to grip the bars of the cell hard enough to leave fingerprints in the paint. Those fingerprints came back as a match to the ones on a young teenager's glasses.
Do I want to hear this?
Lisa asked.
Do you want the truth?
Oscar asked. He didn't wait for an answer.
Sigmund Oliverson was 13 when he was in the big city, hero watching. You know what that is?
Sure, I see kids do it all the time.
Lisa said with a shrug.
We go by, and they scream and holler trying to get your attention. If I have time I stop, and get a picture or two. It's great for PR.
Perfect Power was high on drugs, and she took Sigmund's glasses off him to hand to Sigmund's mother.
Oscar said and paused to take a breath.
Perfect Power was throwing Sigmund up into the air, over the edge of a building, and then racing down to catch him before he hit the road. One time, she wasn't fast enough.
Oh God!
Lisa said, shocked.
That's what Alice said when she read the full report of the incident.
Oscar stated, looking around the large room for more clues.
No one believed Sigmund's mother that Perfect Power had killed her son. The only proof she had was Perfect Power's partial fingerprint on Sigmund's glasses. Back then, impossible to find a match. Alice did. Leia gave her real name to the police in Colombia.
That was in the 1980s, so what happened?
Lisa asked.
She disappears for 2 decades. She could have been in rehab, a nunnery, a cave, or even space. I'm not sure.
Oscar said with a shrug.
Most of the reports about what happened to Sigmund were destroyed. It was one little blurb in one newspaper article. Years later, someone reported seeing a superhero drop a kid that led Alice and I to Sigmund's mother. She had a copy of the full report. That newspaper blurb got Alice's attention, and all this started.
Oscar sighed and left the building. Lisa caught up to Oscar just before he got to the next building.
You know it's not your fault. What happened to Alice?
Lisa stated softly.
I never said it was.
Oscar stated before kicking in the door of the third and final building.
That doesn't mean I'm not pissed off about it. I loved Alice. You know how we met, right?
She used her heat powers to melt the road under your car to create a distraction while she robbed a gold depository.
Lisa said, and Oscar seemed to deflate a little.
Hey, when you were asleep and we were in bed together, naked, after making love to each other, we do have girl talk.
Oscar licked his dry lips at that.
I'm rather glad I was asleep then.
Oscar said, and Lisa grinned a little.
Alice wasn't just a supervillain, she was a smart supervillain.
Oscar said, going into the building.
After she trapped my car, I was going to use my super hypnosis on her. I followed her into the gold depository, and saw she was melting the gold, so it ran into the storm sewer. She was planning on collecting the gold later there. I realized her plan was very clever, and I liked that more than how she looked.
She looked amazing.
Lisa offered, looking around.
Well, yes, she does. Did. Sorry, I mean I fell in love with her brains before her breasts.
Oscar said, shaking his head.
As soon as I saw what she was doing, and she saw me, I remember her smirk and telling me that I was either brave or stupid for following her inside. Did she tell you what I said next?
She said you would claim whichever one would convince her to join you for dinner.
Lisa laughed and Oscar smiled too.
When did you use your super hypnosis on her?
She broke her arm, about a week after we started officially dating.
Oscar said, looking around an empty room that had only bare shelves.
Some brute hit her so hard she slammed into a wall hard. She was in pain and needed to have her arm set. I couldn't stand seeing her in pain. She hated being in pain. She told me to hypnotize her. She knew that meant never going back. She knew and wanted me to do it, so I hypnotized her with my eyes. I was able to set and splint her arm, and even make her believe the pain wasn't that bad. I got her out of her costume and into civilian clothes before going to the hospital with a slip and fall excuse. After that, well, you know my hypnosis never really wears off.
Oh, I know.
Lisa said, nodding her head.
You're the reason I'm not wearing panties right now.
Hey, you and the rest of J5 were going to arrest Alice.
Oscar said, not facing Lisa.
She had 6 arrest warrants out for her, and 1 all-means-necessary warrant.
Lisa defended herself.
If we knew where you were, we could have gone into your house killing you, your other slaves, and her as we went.
I'm glad you didn't,
Oscar said with a sigh.
Alice agreed to take the heat off her. She'd turn herself in, trusting me to take care of things. I spent so much time and effort to make sure Alice got off from those charges. Did you know that all federal judges have at least one super-powered security officer at all times? I didn't know that until I went into Judge Bautista's home and this short, round, rather ugly woman transformed to 10 feet tall with arm muscles bigger than my thighs.
You're talking about Crystal.
Lisa said with a grin.
I wouldn't call her ugly, not attractive, maybe below average, well below average. When she's in her Amazon form, she's not bad looking in a handsome sort of way.
Well, I took Crystal, but I got Judge Bautista and every one of the jurors.
Oscar said with a sigh.
I let one charge stand, just so things didn't seem off, and the judge gave the lightest possible sentence. 1 year probation, including time served, but Alice came home with me that day.
I know she loved you.
Lisa said, and it made Oscar stop in his tracks.
When you made all of us at J5 have to obey Alice as we would you, she wanted to make sure you were always happy and taken care of. I'm not here by accident.
Oscar turned to Lisa, tears running freely down his face.
Alice was a villain, and always would be one. You've been together for years, but she knew, someday, something might happen to her. Oscar, Alice commanded us, everyone at J5 and your other hypnotic slaves, that if something took her out of the picture, that someone would always be watching over you. We've been tracking you with your GPS, and with Thomas in the skies, until that alien attack. That's why I'm here. I'm here to take care of you now that Alice can't.
I miss her so much.
Oscar cried. The tension that Oscar had held in, the clenched jaw he'd been sporting for days, his stiff spine, it all fell apart. He fell apart. Gone was the stone-like man that had to hold it together, be a leader, be a commander, be a master. He let himself be human. Oscar let himself be taken into Lisa's embrace while he sobbed away.
Her fire, in 2 forms, her passion, her no-brakes all-gas attitude. If that asshole who planted the bomb hadn't taken himself out, by God I would have.
You're a better man than that.
Lisa said, holding Oscar close.
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
Oscar sobbed, wiping his eyes.
No one cared about the former villain's support group in the building. All the news talked about was the junior gymnastics class. I'm sorry for all those kids too, but 7 people trying to not be villains were murdered. That asshole is just lucky the cops got there before I did. He would have begged for death if I got my eyes on him.
Stop and think about it.
Lisa said, tenderly.
Is that what Alice would have wanted?
Lisa asked,
Is that what Alice would have done?
Alice would have burn out one nerve ending at a time until his skin couldn't feel pain.
Oscar said with a grin.
And then she'd start on his insides. God, I miss her. That asshole didn't even get his intended target because Jacob had a parent-teacher conference that night.
We need to honor Alice's memory.
Lisa said softly as Oscar backed up out of her arms.
You're right, and that's why I'm here.
Oscar said and cleared his throat.
I have a job to do. I find the truth and let the world know it too. If I want to let the entire world know that a former villain led to solving a 20-year-old disappearance, then I need to keep going.
Right, where to look?
Lisa asked, looking around.
First building was the money.
Oscar said, thinking.
All villains are after money. McManiac needed money to fund his research. You wouldn't keep a superpowered superheroine there to destroy financial computers and records.
Oscar started shining his light everywhere.
Building 2 was his mech suits.
Oscar said, thinking out loud.
Would you keep a superheroine there?
Inside one of the mech suits?
Lisa offered.
If perfect power was being kept somewhere, how would an ordinary human do that?
Lisa asked.
That's just it.
Oscar said, looking around what appeared to be a laboratory of some kind.
McManiac wasn't an ordinary human. He would have been classified as a super genius. He just never got the enzyme test. I'm similar. My super hypnosis would skew the enzyme test, so my off-the-charts intellect could be classified as a superpower, or that I'm really, really smart.
And humble, let's not forget humble.
Lisa joked.
Feel like only wearing a micro bikini top for the next month?
Oscar challenged her.
We know that perfect power can be affected by drugs, so that means her brain chemistry could be altered. If she's anywhere, it would be here, in the building where Mech-Maniac made his nanites.
If I see you turning to goo, I'm running you out of here immediately.
Lisa stated.
Noted.
Oscar said, looking around.
If I have a superhero and plan on keeping her away from prying eyes but also will come back for her, where would I put her?
After a pause, Lisa suggested.
Basement?
Sure, let's start from the bottom up.
Oscar said, heading for the stairs. In the basement, Oscar took the lead. Lisa hung back.
What's with you?
Oscar asked.
There are rats down here.
Lisa said, rubbing her arms for warmth she didn't need.
I hate rats. I don't just not like them, I hate and detest rats.
You're scared of them?
Oscar asked, looking around.
Yes, a little.
Lisa said, and then sighed.
Okay, I am really scared of rats. Their teeth, those claw-like hands, and jaw muscles that can bite a finger off. Yeah, I hate, detest, and am scared of rats.
Lisa, you're not scared of rats, at least not these rats, and pay them no mind as we continue our search.
Oscar said, almost offhandedly.
That's okay. That's a good use of your super hypnosis.
Lisa said, as Oscar went to the end of a large floor.
That work cabinet is out of place.
Oscar said, going over to a wood-topped metal bench with several drawers and 2 large cabinets under the worktop.
How can you tell?
Lisa asked, walking over to it.
Everything around here is metal, or plastic.
Oscar said, starting to open empty drawers.
This is the first thing that has a wooden top.
Oscar pulled on a handle of one of the cabinets. Instead of the door swinging open, it pulled out on stiff, rusty bearings. Lisa jerked back, but Oscar didn't. He looked down into the metal container with dispassion. If she had been larger than a teenager, Leia Winters wouldn't have fit into the small metal box. Her blonde hair was dirty from the grit and grime of years gone by. Her skin was still pink and perfect. She was folded up with her knees to her chest, pushing up on her breasts. She looked like she could open her eyes at any moment. If it wasn't for her lack of breathing, Leia Winters looked like she was still alive.
There she is.
Oscar said, looking down at her. He looked very sad as he pulled out his phone and took pictures of the woman in the box.
Hey Alice, we found her.
Oscar said softly.
Unit activated.
Perfect Power said in a robotic tone, picking her head up and her eyes snapping open.
Ah!
Lisa yelled in fright.
What the hell?
Oscar said, backing up.
Primary master deactivated.
Leia said, standing up, pushing the metal away from her like it was a shower curtain. The young-looking woman was completely nude. Dirt and detritus stuck to her in patches. There were rat droppings falling off her bare shoulders.
Secondary master deactivated.
Leia said robotically as she stood there, unmoving save for her lips when she spoke.
Hello.
Oscar said to the drone-like woman.
Establishing primary master.
Leia said, looking at Oscar blankly.
Primary master identified. Establishing secondary master.
What's going on?
Lisa asked.
Don't move, just let her scan you.
Oscar commanded.
Scan me for what?
Lisa asked.
Secondary master identified.
Perfect Power said, looking from Lisa back to Oscar.
Awaiting commands, masters.
Oh, I get it.
Lisa said with a grin.
It's nice to be in charge for once and not a slave. Not that I don't love being your slave, Oscar.
Oscar only rolled his eyes at her.
Hello, Perfect Power.
Oscar said, looking the statue, like blonde teen.
State primary purpose.
Unit is to serve and obey primary master.
Perfect Power said, robotically.
Unit is to serve and obey secondary master, unless commands conflict with commands from primary master.
Whom is your primary master?
Oscar asked.
You are.
Perfect Power said as dirt and grime seemed to be falling off her naked body, leaving it looking pink and fresh.
Oscar Helmo Dirches.
Your middle name is Helmo?
Lisa asked.
It's German, for protector, my parents liked it.
Oscar said, narrowing his eyes.
Unit, State Secondary Master.
Secondary Master is Lisa Armandine Hutchinson, also known as Quick Bolt.
Perfect Power said without emotion.
Shit.
Oscar said under his breath.
You seem concerned.
Lisa said, not getting it.
She's online.
Oscar stated.
She's scanned our faces, found out who we are, and has designated us her masters.
This is bad because?
Lisa asked.
This is a dead zone.
Oscar answered.
There's not supposed to be able to be any signal in or out. That could mean someone else knows she's awake. Unit, who have you transmitted any information to?
I have only verbally transmitted information to my primary and secondary masters.
Perfect Power said, and her hair that had been messed up seemed to magically move on its own to be perfect.
Unit, who were your previous masters?
Oscar asked hesitatingly.
Former primary master was Arnold Harper Vives, also known as Mechmaniac.
Perfect Power said, her eyes unblinking.
Former secondary master was Castor Aero Olash, also known as.
Oscar's eyes were wide as he said the name at the same time as Perfect Power.
Jade Blade.
What?
Lisa shouted.
No, I don't believe it. Jade Blade was a hero. Jade Blade was a founding member of Heroic Heroes. Jade Blade died saving someone.
He died in the fight with Mechmaniac.
Oscar said, getting his hooded eyes look when things were falling into place.
How did I not see this? It was obvious. Jade Blade had one superpower, to make a single jade sword at a time. He fought to get on Alpha Protectors, failed, and ended up having to form Heroic Heroes just to be on a team. He didn't do all the background prep work he normally did before Heroic Heroes took on Mechmaniac, because he was in on it. The report that Perfect Power was following a cloud of nanites came from him. He made the leap to Mechmaniac. He got the all means necessary warrant that meant they could kill Mechmaniac.
But Jade Blade died too.
Lisa said, still angry.
I'd love to see how Jade Blade died.
Oscar stated.
All recordings from mech suits are kept at a secondary location.
Perfect Power stated.
Where?
Oscar asked. The three were in the field south of the complex. Perfect Power walked, naked, unconcerned before Lisa and Oscar. Perfect Power seemed completely unconcerned by the bugs and the sharp grass and the muck she was putting her bare feet into.
Should we get her some clothes?
Lisa asked Oscar.
You see a clothing store around here?
Oscar asked.
I could run and get her something.
Lisa offered, looking at Perfect Power's twitching rump.
You really want to cover that up?
Oscar asked, almost teasing.
I want to kiss and lick every inch of her body while grinding on her, after she's had a shower.
Lisa said, then, biting her lip.
You making me bisexual has rewound my sex drive to when I was a teenager. I can't look at a woman's body or a guy's package and not think about hot screaming sex.
Don't go blaming me for that.
Oscar warned.
Did you forget that I am the one that knows everyone's secrets? You had hot screaming sex all the time before me.
Not all the time, most of the time, if he was really good.
Lisa admitted.
When Alice and I would do you in bed, wow, it was a non-stop scream until either my lungs or body gave out kind of sex.
Alice never did hold back.
Oscar said and fought back tears.
We are here, masters.
Perfect Power said, standing before an empty spot of grass.
Well, of course it's obvious.
Lisa mocked, turning around and looking for what she missed.
Open it.
Oscar demanded.
Yes, master.
Perfect Power answered, squatting down and grabbing 2 handfuls of dirt. When she lifted, there was a root ripping sound and the tortured scream of rusty metal. The underground bunker was surprisingly warm. The walls and floor were clean. Save for the dirt, the three people tracked in. The computers and monitors were far out of date, but with the touch of a button, lights, and the computers came to life.
How?
Oscar asked, looking at the lights.
Geothermal.
Perfect Power answered, dull and monotone.
Can we snap her out of that?
Lisa asked.
I don't like her all robotic-like.
In a minute.
Oscar said.
Show us the recording of how Jade Blade and Mech Maniac died.
Yes, Master.
Perfect Power said, and just looked at one of the computers. The black plastic on the white table instantly revved up. The monitor had speakers built in, but the sound was quiet and not great. The picture was a close-up video that only caught a quarter of Jade Blade's face and some of his green and black costume. He was clearly struggling with Mech Maniac.
You asshole, we had a deal.
Mech Maniac was saying.
Fuck you, I'm changing the deal.
Jade Blade said, struggling with his sword, somehow stuck in Mech Maniac's armor.
You die, and I get perfect power as my sex slave for the rest of my life.
Not going to happen.
Mech Maniac said, struggling.
She's nothing now.
Just like you.
Jade Blade said, and he stopped struggling, then put his palms on the mech suit. There was a gurgling cry from Mech Maniac. At that time, Mech Maniac also unleashed a black cloud. That cloud attacked Jade Blade's mouth, nose, eyes, and ears. Then the camera pointed up at the sky, unmoving.
Let it keep rolling.
Oscar said, and the image didn't change, but the sounds did. There were distant screams, an explosion here and there, and past the camera a flaming car flew overhead. It was sometime later that a male voice yelled,
Castor?
What do we do with him?
A female voice asked.
I'll shut everything down.
A different female voice said.
Go help Castor.
Okay, I've seen enough.
Oscar said, and the computers went dark.
What did he mean that she was nothing now?
Lisa asked.
It's not obvious?
Oscar asked, and Lisa shook her head no.
20 years ago, she had fame, money, her own cartoon, her own video game, her own branded bedsheet. Perfect Power was at the height of her fame in a way nothing compared before. Think about that. Now, think about where we found her.
Tucked into a metal box in a drawer.
Lisa said, looking at the perfect hero.
Folded naked into a trash can in a musty basement.
Oscar said, looking at the perfect hero.
Mech Maniac didn't just bring her down. He took literally everything from her. He took her dignity, her mind, her future. Jade Blade was going to use her for sex. Mech Maniac stuffed her into an unused desk underground to be forgotten by everyone.
Almost everyone.
Lisa said.
Yeah.
Oscar said with a long sigh.
This is for you, Alice. Perfect Power, I want you to act as a normal person, as you would act if you were not controlled.
Yes, Mast. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Perfect Power screamed before collapsing on the floor.
Now would be a good time to get some clothes.
Oscar told Lisa. She was gone in a wind-filled blur. She was back in less than a second with an assortment of clothes.
I didn't know what she would like.
Lisa said with a shrug before tossing the clothes to the woman on the floor.
God damn it.
Perfect Power said, getting up on her hands and knees.
Everything hurts.
Really?
Oscar asked.
Mostly my head, Master.
Perfect Power said, and then realized what she said.
Fuck. 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 Fuck.
She sounds like a chicken.
Lisa commented.
Are you okay?
Oscar asked Perfect Power. There was a pause before the woman answered, as if checking.
No.
She finally said.
It's all coming back to me, somehow.
Get dressed, download all the information on these computers to my home server, and let's get out of here.
Oscar commanded.
Yes, Master. How do I know?
Perfect Power started and then stopped.
Am I an android now?
More likely a superpowered cyborg.
Oscar said, as Lisa was catching up to the conversation.
All files downloaded, Master.
Perfect Power said, standing up with effort and taking the clothes with her.
Can someone please fill me in?
Lisa asked,
I feel like I came in halfway through a movie and left before the ending. How did Jade Blade get in contact with Mechmaniac? What did Mechmaniac do with Perfect Power while she was under his control? Why didn't anyone look for her here?
There was a pause before Oscar asked Perfect Power.
Care to answer those questions?
Perfect Power sighed as she put on a tight t-shirt sporting a surf club. Her firm handful breasts stood out under the white fabric, clearly showing she wasn't wearing a bra.
I have to obey you, and it feels so weird.
Perfect Power said, finally.
I've said that before.
Lisa grinned.
He hypnotized you.
Perfect Power said to Lisa.
He hypnotized me.
You have to obey him.
I have to obey him, completely and totally.
Do you want to have sex with him?
All the time.
That.
Perfect Power said, pointing as soon as she pulled up the baggy blue shorts.
Is where Mechmaniac was different. I was patrolling a quiet little area of Pine City, when over my radio Jade Blade told me that there was a possible break-in at 493 Water Flow Road. I went there, and didn't even make it to the door when Mechmaniac sprayed me with his nanites. I went down, and when I woke up, well, I never really woke up, but I became aware.
The nanites were in your system.
Oscar added.
Was it a drug effect or mental domination?
I think a bit of both.
Perfect Power said, slipping on sandals.
I've done some really good drugs in my time. The kind that makes you feel like you're in a soft, comfortable hammock and never want to leave. This was more like laying on a bed that was as firm as possible.
How did Jade Blade and Mechmaniac hook up?
Lisa asked.
They are, or were, cousins.
Perfect Power said, teasing out her hair.
Their mothers were sisters. As for what Mechmaniac did with me, nothing. I made him a sandwich one time, but otherwise I just stood there, mindless, waiting.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Lisa said, glaring at Oscar.
He didn't take advantage of you?
Oscar asked.
Mechmaniac was gay.
Perfect Power said, as if that was obvious from the start.
He didn't like women. I'm not even sure he liked men, but I was only his slave for a week, and the only time Arnold took someone to bed with him, it was one of his mind-controlled drones. After a week of me doing nothing, I was ordered to strip naked, get in the drawer of that desk you found me in, and I was to power down until needed.
Were you asleep?
Lisa asked. Perfect Power seemed to hesitate at this.
It was more like half dreaming.
She finally said.
Once a day I would get a data burst of information going on in the world. It was something to keep me up to date on things, so when reactivated I could function without having to catch up on things. I knew the rats had found me, and since I was warm, when it was winter, there would be a fight over nesting on me.
Worst nightmare ever.
Lisa said with a shudder.
What would you like me to do now, Masters?
Perfect Power asked.
First back to the hotel so we can all get cleaned up.
Oscar stated.
Then we're going to do a long-form interview of you. All of your secrets will come out. I'll probably get 3 good books out of you, maybe 4.
Being in Oscar Dirch's book is a real honor, even if his airing all the dirty laundry hurts some people.
Lisa said with a grin.
I'm invulnerable.
Perfect Power said with a shrug.
That's why when Mechmaniac died, and all his nanite-infected drones turned to goo, I didn't.
There's another question answered.
Lisa said. The 3 started out into the grassy field.
I have to inform you, Masters, that this programming in my head doesn't let you free me.
Perfect Power stated.
Well, my power never lets me free anyone I hypnotize.
Oscar commented.
I can have them speak their true feelings, and let me know what they would want if they were freed.
Oscar sighed and looked down as he walked.
I tried to free Alice after I had hypnotized her. It didn't work. I don't know if it was because my power never fades, or she wanted to be my hypnotized slave, or, well, deep down, I didn't want her to leave me.
She loved you.
Perfect Power said.
I have access to every computer system in the world. Alice had a running journal on her phone, which was saved to the cloud.
What?
Oscar said, looking up.
She started keeping it in her teens.
Perfect Power said, her eyes a little distant as she walked.
The part where you two met is quite mushy. She uses the phrase, love at first sight, many times. She even says, after you hypnotized her, she still feels the same for you as before, just more excited to your ideas in bed. She even had a working title for your investigation of me.
Alice never said she had a title in mind.
Oscar said, his eyes starting to well up with tears.
She wasn't sure if you would like it.
Perfect Power said with a sigh.
She always was more concerned for my well-being than her own.
Oscar sighed.
Fine, what was Alice's title?
Perfect Power said with a grin.
Super Truth.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.